This conference will now be recorded.
Now, today we'll talk about vendor payments in SAP. Now, first point, when we talk about vendor payments, now let us not directly talk from the SAP point of view, let us talk in general. Now, when do we have to make a payment to vendor? What is the first criteria before we issue a payment to a vendor? What should be my prerequisite before I give a payment to a supplier or to a vendor?
Need to check invoice, sir.
At first point, there should be one open invoice. Agree? So there has to be
Yes,
one
sir.
open invoice against which I will initiate the payment for a vendor. Second point, there should be open advance request. What is advance?
Vendor advance, like down payment, sir.
Right. Advance or
Down payment.
down payment request. Now, either you should have one open invoice for a vendor or you should have open advance or down payment request for a vendor against which we initiate the payment. Now, these 2 points clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So once you have either open invoice or the open advance or the down payment request, your payment is possible for a supplier. Now, after this, mode of payments. Normally, what modes we use for issuing a payment? So one is your cash payment. Second one is your check payment. Third one will be your bank transfer. Any other possible mode which is nowadays used apart from these three?
Cash, check, and bank.
Right, either you issue cash to the
Mostly this.
supplier or
Yes.
you issue a check to the supplier or you directly transfer to the supplier bank account. These are most commonly used payment modes.
Yes, sir.
Now, when it comes to cash payment, it is limited based on the amount, because you are not allowed to do the cash transactions beyond a limit. Agree? If I've purchased around, let's say, 2 lakh rupee worth material from a vendor, am I allowed to pay 2 lakh in cash? Yes,
Yes,
no?
sir.
Am I allowed to pay 2 lakh in cash or not?
No, sir.
No, right? You're not allowed. Why not allowed?
Business won't maintain that much cash, and also there will be no transaction to be recorded in future. If it is bank, it will be recorded.
Right. Valid. So first point, business may not maintain that much physical cash with them to issue to a vendor. Valid. Second one, there will be no record if you are issuing a cash. Third point, there will be legal implications of which, because if you wanted to issue any transaction beyond 49,000 or beyond or up to 49,000 or up to 50,000, there is no restriction. You are free to do any transaction. But the moment you want to transfer from 50,000, I'm talking from the Indian point of view. So will bank accept 50,000 deposit unless you provide the form 16, sorry, your PAN card details?
Yes, sir.
Will bank accept without PAN number
No, they
for
won't.
transactions from 50,000? Yes, no?
No, sir, they won't.
They will not accept. And second thing, beyond a limit, company will not accept or company will not encourage cash transactions. So that will not be your bank limit. Your bank is telling beyond 50,000, give me the supplier PAN account details and all, so that this will have tax implications. Now, keeping these tax implications aside, every company will have a certain limit for your cash transactions. Let's say a company may have maximum as 5,000, maximum as 10,000, maximum as 20,000, beyond which company will not issue a cash payment. It will be strictly through bank payment. Either they write a check on the vendor name or they initiate the bank transfer to the vendor account. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right? So cash payment will have some limitation based on the amount. This amount limitation is based on again company to company. So each company may have its own policy. When it comes to check payment, there is no limit, because when you're purchasing, there is no limit, right? It depends on your requirement. If you need 2 lakh
Yes,
rupee worth material, you purchase for 2 lakh. If you require 20 lakh rupee worth, you will purchase for 20 lakh. There is no limit. Similarly, when you're making the payment or when you're writing a check, you will have to input the partner bank details also. Agree?
yes, sir.
Right? So when you issue a check, you will write the other person, the partner bank account name on the check, right? On which the account
Yes,
is maintained, and you will write the check amount and all. When this check is deposited in the bank, your amount will get debited, the partner bank account will get credited. Now, from the bank, you can easily trace out who encashed this check, possible or not,
yes, sir, possible.
Yes, sir,
right? To
possible.
whom you have given the check, who encashed this check is possible. And the same is the case with your bank transfer. So what will happen with the bank transfer? You're not doing or you're not writing any physical check. Instead, you're directly transferring your funds from your account to your supplier account, for which you need bank account details of your supplier, bank name, account holder name, account currency, account number, IFSC code. All this information is required, through which you can initiate the fund transfer. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, any other mode of payment you normally think of apart from these three, or only these three?
Most probably these three will use, sir, nowadays.
Right? Usually only these three are used. This is very rarely used. Hardly 10% of your vendor payments may be cash payment. Remaining 90 plus percentage of your payments are either cash, either check payment or your bank transfer. In short, it is a bank payment. It is a bank payment. Now, when it comes to your payment accounting entry, there will be one accounting journal voucher that is to be passed. What will be debited, what will be credited when it is your vendor bank payment or it is with your vendor cash payment.
Vendor account
Let's
got
say
debit.
if it is a cash payment,
Vendor.
so vendor will be debited because debit the receiver,
Yes, cash will be
and
the credit.
you are crediting the cash because credit what goes out. Your cash is going out,
Yes, sir.
cash account will get credited. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, when it comes to your check payment, because there is no difference in the vendor, whether it is a cash, whether it is a check, your receiver is still your vendor. So you will still debit your vendor account. When it is a check payment, so you will have to credit bank check account, right?
Yes, sir.
Normally, for bank, you will maintain a separate account for check. You will maintain a separate account for transfer. That we will see shortly. If it is your bank transfer, who is receiving the payment? Still vendor again.
Vendor. Yes, same. Bank account
Now here
credit.
I will write bank
Transfer.
transfer account credit. Any doubt in these accounting entries? Clear, right? Accounting entries.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
these
Yes, sir.
are the
Yes, sir.
accounting entries that we normally pass for your vendor bank payments. Now, there are two ways. One is your manual payment.
Payment.
Second one is your automatic payment.
Payment.
One is your manual
Manual.
payment and the other one is your automatic payment. So if it is a manual payment, you manually record the payment. Now, when we talk about payment, what is actually happening from the accounting point of view? It is your accounting entry, debit something to credit something,
Yes, sir.
right? If it is a manual payment, you are going to write the payment entry manually. This vendor debit cash credit or vendor debit bank credit is written manually. That is your manual payment.
Yes, sir.
Now, when it comes to your automatic payment, so when do you say the payment is completed from the system point of view? Only when the accounting entry is recorded. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Right. If my accounting entry is not created, I will not say that payment is completed, right? So I will
Yes, sir.
settle the amount only when the accounting entry is posted. Posting of this accounting entry is either manual or automatic, right? If your accounting entries are posted manually for payment, you call it as manual payment. If your accounting entries for payment are posted automatically, that is your automatic payment. This is your first level of understanding. What is manual payment? What is automatic payment? Normally, this is very rarely used. Manual payment is very rarely used because you will have lot of payments to be made to suppliers. Agree?
Yes, sir.
Company will not keep on paying every day, right? What they will do, they will have dedicated payment days. They will have dedicated payment days. So when I say dedicated payment days, they may say that we will release the payments or we will make the payments once in every 2 days or twice in every week, maybe thrice in every week. They may say that every Monday, every Wednesday, every Friday, we will have the payments.
Yes, sir.
Because when you want to make a payment, your payment will have to be authorized. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Your payment is issued by an accountant, but your accountant is not an authorized person to approve the amount. Agree? It has to be approved by the top management.
Yes, sir.
Yes, no,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
right? So these approvals and all will have to be obtained. So for which what they do, they accumulate the payment transactions and get the approval. So this is the payment or this is the amount that needs to be arranged on Friday to make the payment. Otherwise, they will not have the sufficient funds, right? They may be short of funds sometimes. So unless they have what is due on this date, they can accordingly arrange the payment. Now, so in short, what we are talking about now, we are talking if it is a manual accounting entry for payment, it's a manual payment. If it is automatic accounting entry for payment, it is automatic payment. Clear?
Automatic payment. Yes, sir.
Now, let's talk about. Now, I'm not writing anything. I'm writing in general. Cash payment. If it is a cash payment, what exactly happens? If I have to do a cash payment to a supplier, what will I be giving him?
Cash.
I will be giving a cash. Is it a digital cash or a physical cash?
Physical
Physical.
cash.
Physical cash.
If I'm talking about a cash payment, I'm not talking about digital cash. I'm talking about physical cash. When I say physical cash, I literally have to maintain cash with me, right? So who
Yes,
will
sir.
issue the cash? Is it an accountant or the cashier?
Cashier.
Cashier.
Cash is normally issued by the cashier. Now, in every company, there will be a cashier who operates or who maintains the cash. This cash is called as your petty cash. What cash?
Petty cash.
Petty
This is
cash.
nothing but your petty cash. Now, what the cashier will do with petty cash, let's say for cash payment, you will have cashier who maintains petty cash. Now, when a cashier is maintaining petty cash, does he have unlimited cash or limited cash?
Limited cash.
Agree? You will not give the total amount, full amount with the cashier, right? You will give him a limited amount. So the cash
Yes.
that he holds is limited. So for every petty cash, there is a cash limit. What will be there?
Cash limit.
Cash.
There will be a cash limit. Let's say your petty cashier is supposed to maintain only 20,000 rupees, 20,000 INR. What does it mean? He is not supposed to have more than 20,000 in his hand at any given point of time.
Yes, sir.
Okay, he is not going to have more than 20,000 because his cash limit is only 20,000. Now, if when I say cash limit is 20,000, he can do a maximum transaction of 20,000. Agree?
Yes, sir.
If there is a transaction, for 22,000, can he initiate that cash payment?
No, sir.
No.
No, right? He cannot initiate that transaction because it is beyond his limit.
Yes.
Because maximum cash that he can maintain with him is only
20,000.
20. If any cash received beyond 20, let's say he has collected cash of some 40,000, what he will do? He will keep only 20 with him, and whatever cash is received excess above his limit will have to be deposited in the bank. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Because he is not
Yes, sir.
authorized, he is not supposed to maintain the excess cash with him. It has to be reconciled and deposited in the bank on a regular basis. Now, so you will have cash payment, you have a cashier, you will have petty cash, which is maintained by the cashier, and this petty cash of the cashier will have a cash limit, assuming any amount, and this cash
Reconciliation.
reconciliation on a
Daily basis.
daily basis. Cash reconciliation is a daily activity. It's a must. So what is the available cash in the morning in my hand, and what is the available cash in the evening in my hand before I leave the office must be reconciled. Clear? I
Yes, sir.
literally have to count the cash physically, what is available amount. I have to verify this amount with my system GL balance. As per system, what is the cash balance, and as per my physical cash, what is the available balance. This must be in sync. If there is any mismatch, you will have to find out why there is a mismatch, which means every cash payment that you make, you will record. Every cash payment that you received, you will record. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So in short, recording or capturing of your cash payment is subject to daily reconciliation.
Yes, sir.
Daily reconciliation.
Reconciliation.
Now, on the other hand, you will have bank
Bank.
payment. When I say bank payment, there are two ways that we discussed in the bank. What are those two?
Check and
Check
bank
payment.
transfer.
One is your
Check payment and
check
bank transfer.
payment, and the other one is
Bank
bank.
transfer.
So, other one is your bank transfer. If I am issuing a check, what will happen?
The check
Normally,
will
how a
be
check?
yes. The check will have the partner details, and the partner will go to bank and he will withdraw the amount.
Right. So to write a check, in short, you just need to know who is the payee, right? Who is the
Yes, sir.
person to receive this check or to withdraw the check. So you will write the check on their name and the
Yes.
check date, amount, signature. Agree? Only
Yes, sir.
3-4 points that are mentioned on the check.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, to do a bank transfer, what is needed? You need more information to initiate the bank transfer
Yes.
over your
Bank
check payment.
number.
Because to write a
Yes.
check, I just need to know what is your account name in your bank. If
Yes,
it
sir.
is account payee, right? Because
Yes.
bank is not going to accept the check unless that payee name matches with your account name. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Right? So you will have to get the correct payee name for the bank check. If it is a bank transfer, you have to get more information like what is the bank name, what is the account number, what is the account currency, what is the IFSC code, what is the branch. Agree? All
Yes,
this
sir.
information is needed. Even if there is a small typo error, let's say instead of writing account number 1234, if I put 1243, my funds are still transferred but to a wrong account. Agree?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes,
Even
sir.
if I have the account number, if I do not input the account number currently, I will still be able to do the payment but to a wrong account.
Wrong account.
To a wrong account, which means when you do a cash payment, when you do a check payment, when you do a bank transfer payment, you have to be careful or not.
Yes, sir.
Right? We have to be careful where we are actually transferring the funds, and this information will have to be validated or verified because sorry, these funds are not something which we are receiving. These are the funds that we are transferring to the third party, maybe your supplier or anybody.
Yes, sir.
Right? So there will be a strict protocols followed, or there will be a strict rules, checkpoints that must be in place for any company. Now, to issue a check, what information is needed? Now, assume that this is my check. Okay. Assuming this is my check. Now, in this check, what information is there? You will find a name,
Name,
Dates.
rupees involved,
date is where,
date,
date probably here,
serial number.
Yes, sir.
and you will find amount here,
Yes.
probably
Amount in rupees.
amount in words. Anything else?
Signature.
Right?
And the bank
And you
name,
have
bank
signature. And down below you will have
check number.
check number. Right? At the bottom you will have check number. Now, what is the information that has to be updated? Let's say
Name,
I'll put this as 1,
name,
this
date, 2,
as 2, this is
amount
my
3,
third input, amount in words will be my fourth input, signature
signature.
will be my fifth input. This is predefined or pre-printed on the check. Agree? Every check
Yes, sir.
contains the check number at the bottom. Yes, no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right? So the 5 inputs is what you have to write on the check. Now these checks are again two types. One is your manual check and the other one is automatic check.
Automatic.
So one is your manual check and the other one is
Automatic check.
automatic check. Now what are we doing on the check? We are writing some basic information on the check. There are 5 inputs that you are giving in short. Agree?
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes,
Name,
sir.
date,
Yes.
amount in words, and signature. If you're writing all these 5 inputs manually, that is your manual check. Right? If you're writing all these 5 inputs manually,
Manually.
that is your manual check. If all these 5 inputs are printed automatically from the system, That is your automatic check.
Automatic check.
Right? If I take a blank check, keep it on the printer. If I click print on the system, name, amount, everything comes automatically from the system printout. Then that is my automatic check.
Automatic check.
Instead, if I take a pen, write the payee name, date, amount, and all, that is a manual check. Clear? What is manual
Yes.
check? What is automatic check?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Right? Now, currently, earlier, what used to happen with the check? If you take, let's say I'll take SBI, I'll take Axis, I'll take HDFC, Citibank, or Kotak Bank, or any other bank. Now, every bank will have a different check, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, if you see earlier, so every bank used to have different check. When I say different check layout matters. When we talk about check layout matters, check size matters, right? Check layout and check size, both are very important when it comes to check payment. Let's say your SBI check is this much. No surprise, your Citibank check may be a little bigger. Yes, no?
Yes, sir. Depends on the bank.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right? Sometimes name may be here, another bank may tell name is here.
Yes, sir.
Correct? Now,
Yes,
to
sir.
overcome this, currently there is a system as per RBI which talks about irrespective of the bank, no matter what bank you are representing or what bank you are operating with, your check must be the same size, and your layout must be strictly as per the RBI guidelines. If your name has to start here, irrespective of any bank check, your name must be here only. Irrespective of any bank, your date field must be here only, exactly here, even if you take scale and measure. The only thing is, here you will find HDFC logo, you may find SBI logo here. The rest content is your choice. But this is the key content on the check. Agree?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this has to be followed as per the RBI instructions. So what is that check called? Any idea, anyone? There is a name for that check, that format. There is a name for that format. Any idea what is that format? Anyone? No idea? Anybody who worked? Yes, no?
No idea, sir.
Okay.
I think
So that is
CTS.
basically your CTS. CTS format. What does the CTS stand for?
Check truncation system.
Check truncation system. If you're attending interview, these points will add more value when you're explaining to the somebody. Okay, if you're talking to somebody, you can tell all these points like CTS format, then they might ask you what is the CTS. You'll have to tell check truncation system. What is this check truncation system? Then you'll have to tell this is a standard format given by RBI, which talks about the standard format of the check for all the banks. Any bank check that you take, the format layout is standard, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, if you're writing a check manually, it is a straightforward. I know your name, I know the amount, I know the amount in words, I know the who to check, who to sign the check, I know what is the date. But when it is printed automatically, so is there any way that we can write manually on the automated checks?
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
No, right? If it is automated check, there is no way you write something on it manually, except signature in some cases.
Yes, sir.
Right? The only manual input on the automatic check is your signature, because somebody, you cannot automate the signature, right?
Yes, sir.
You can automate the signature
Yes.
up to certain limit of the amount. If your payment is up to 1,000 rupees, yes, no need to bring me all small checks for signature. Get my sign automatically printed on the check for the check amount less than 1,000. If my payment amount or the check amount is more than 1,000, yes, it has to be manually signed by the authorized personnel. So all these points you may have to consider. Now, for system to understand what is the check number, what is the name, what is the date, amount, there should be a logic, correct?
Yes, sir.
So system has to understand what is the vendor name. You will have hundreds of vendors or thousands of vendors. You have to define a logic on which system identifies, yes, this is the vendor, this is the check number, this is the amount, this is the date, correct? Now, for that to
Yes, sir.
happen, you have to understand what is happening in the system, how system is understanding the check information for a payment document. So that we will understand when we actually talk about automatic payment run. Now, this is one point related to check. Any queries on this? Any doubts on this? We are only trying to understand the base rough version of payments, so that when we actually do it now, probably from the next session, you will have clarity what we are talking about. Any questions on check?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, right? Now, when I do a bank transfer, what information is needed to bank transfer? Bank transfer, again, there are two bank transfers. I can do a manual transfer. Agree?
Automatic transfer.
What is manual transfer?
If we
So I
manually
will
enter the
log into my
details.
net banking. I will
Yes, sir.
add beneficiary, right? And then I will put the amount, all that information, then I will confirm, then that is my manual transfer. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
I
Yes,
log
sir.
into my net banking, I will add the beneficiary, all that. Then I'll do the predefined steps from that respective bank. Then I'll complete my payment, which is my manual transfer. Then what is automatic transfer? Without your intervention, you want funds to be transferred.
Yes, sir.
So for that, what I will do, I will not log into my banking. When I say banking, my online banking or net banking. Instead, I will give information to my bank. If I am operating my account with Citi, I will instruct the Citibank to transfer the funds to this account. This is the amount, this is the date. So what Citibank will do, they will automatically transfer the funds to that respective account. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So this is normally your fund transfer automatically happening without your intervention. Basically, if you take a simple example, every company will pay salaries to their staff, employees,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
right? Now, every company will have limited employees or employees in thousands,
Will be in thousands.
employees in thousand. Now, you wanted to give their salary in their account or some other wrong account.
Their
Employees
accounts.
account, sir.
So, you
Employees
have to
account.
give salary in their account only. Now, is it possible for a person to log into net banking, add all these accounts in the net banking, do fund transfer one by one? What is this person's salary, amount, and all? Is it possible practically?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, it is not practically possible. So, what companies will do? They will send a payment file. What they will send?
Payment
Payment
file.
file.
They will
Payment.
send payment file. This payment file contains information like, it will again have a format. Let's say payee name or beneficiary name, account number, bank name, branch, IFSC, amount, currency. Something like this, there will be a format. Something like this, there will be a format. Let's say I'll put account name as ABC Private Limited. Let's say this is your supplier account and account number is this is your account number. Okay, branch I'll put Axis Bank. Branch I'll say Station Road. IFSC maybe I'll say Axis, some IFSC. Amount let's say 12,000. Currency I'll put INR. Now only when I give this kind of information, bank will transfer. Now knowing this information, is it possible for us to initiate manual transfer or not?
Yes, sir.
If I tell you to do a fund transfer or to transfer 12,000 to this account, is this information sufficient or not?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Sufficient.
You have to add this account as beneficiary in your account if it is a manual transfer. To do that, what is needed? You need beneficiary name or payee name, account number, bank name, your branch name or your IFSC code, amount, currency, with which you can easily do a manual fund transfer. Same information is required for bank to do automatic fund transfer on your behalf. In this case, we are not going to log into the system. We will only send this file. This file may have payment information about 10 payees or 100 payees or 1000 payees. What bank will do? Bank will initiate fund transfer from your account to the respective bank account automatically. And if I give bank account number instead of 4, 6, is it my mistake or bank mistake?
Your mistake.
If I put wrong account number, it is my mistake, because whatever the information you are giving, bank is transferring amount to that account blindly, because it
Yes.
is that kind of terms and conditions will always be there. Even if when you add the beneficiary, if the beneficiary account number is wrong, it is your fault. You cannot blame bank stating you transferred to wrong account. Right? Whatever the account number your funds are moved, it is manually either input by the user or the file that is given incorrectly to the bank. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Bank is not interpreting the account number or any other information. Whatever we provide, it will consider that and initiate payment to that. Now for this to happen, there is again a process. There is again a process, which is nothing but your DME. What is DME?
Data medium
Data
Medium exchange.
Data medium
exchange.
exchange. This data medium exchange is nothing but generating a payment file from the system. Maybe in this format. Maybe in this format. And this DME file, we will share it with the bank. Based on that file, bank will initiate the payment. Now, in a company, considering these three: cash, check, bank transfer. Now, on an average, a company will have payments on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, in tens, in hundreds, or in thousands. Count of payments, not value of payment. In a month, will a company do only 10 payments?
No, sir. It will be like thousands.
No, sir.
Right? The company will do only 100, 200 payments? No, right? It will be in thousands, right? It will be in thousands. So it depends, considering or depending on your nature of business, your payments may be increased also. You have to consider your payments at your company overall, not just branch wise, not just user wise. Then you'll have more payments happening on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis. If I put somebody to punch my payments in the system manually, there are more chances of mistakes. I'll have to incur more cost for my manpower. I'll have to engage more employees to record the payments, right?
Yes, sir.
It is
Yes,
time consuming. Each payment, let's say, is taking 5 minutes. So I don't have that much time. My payments may get delayed. So instead, I want to find a simplified solution which will capture the payment and complete the payment with accurate results in short time, for which we normally go with automatic payment program. Which one?
automatic payment.
Automatic payment program. We normally go with
Automatic payment program.
automatic payment program. Now, this automatic payment program is also called as APP. In general, we call it as APP. APP stands for your automatic payment program. This is a mandatory topic in any of your interview for SAP FICO, irrespective of country, irrespective of company. This is a mandatory topic to be discussed in your interview. No other way, no other option for you to skip this topic. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, before we
Yes.
talk, before we understand what is automatic payment, this is a rough, brief information that you must be aware of. So that when we talk about cash payment, you must know how cash payments are used in a company, how bank checks are issued, how bank transfers are initiated. Only then you can practically connect what we're talking about from SAP point of view, what we're doing from the SAP point of view. If you are clear with this, only then you can understand, okay, this is how we write a check manually. When we print a check from SAP, how this information is coming, how system knows the check name, how system knows the check date, check amount, amount in words or signature whatsoever, how we are connecting all this. So before you connect or before you get into SAP, you must know what it is out of SAP from the business point of view, because there is nothing that directly comes from the system. Agree? Am I correct? Your SAP
Yes, sir. Yes,
is
sir.
only for output. So before you get output, there must be some input,
Yes, sir.
Yes,
right?
sir.
So your
Yes, sir.
input is nothing but your business process. If you're not clear with your input or your business process, you will not get the correct output. You will not get the correct picture from the system. So always focus on your business process. Always try to understand this scenario, what we're trying to do. And based on that, if you do it in system, automatically you can do it on your own without any support, right? Because you are clear what needs to be done, what you want to get. Otherwise, whatever comes, you will accept because you do not know this scenario. You are only dependent on when I do this, this will come out. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, any questions so far? Any doubts? Any questions, doubts on this cash payment, bank transfer, whatever
No,
we
sir.
have roughly discussed? Clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.